everyone. My name is Nila Johnson, and I'm so glad to be speaking to you live from this studio. And I'm here with a very special guest live in Chennai. And I'm so proud to present to you MJ, Maryanne George.
Yes.
Hi, MJ, and welcome to Chennai.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, so how has Chennai been?
It's good. The weather's great. The food's great. My family is great. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm really loving India this time around.
So did you get to try out a lot of Indian cuisine?
Yes,
Chennai?
I'm like a big South Indian food fan, so.
Right, so you brought your daughter with you?
I did. My daughter's
Is she
here.
enjoying Chennai as well?
She is. She's like loving there's like some play areas she's been to with her cousins, so it's been fun with her. And seeing her like process India in real time, like through her eyes, has been really, really sweet. Because I didn't get to go to India, I think, until much until I was like able to form thought. So like much later in life. So I did go when I was a baby, but I didn't remember anything. But yeah. So getting to see her experience everything for the first time is kind of fun.
Really, as a mom,
Yes,
and
exactly.
And this journey has been too much for you. Maybe traveling with a child, traveling for concerts, and it could possibly take a toll on you, right?
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. Thankfully, I have a good support system around me to help me with that.
Yeah.
And so my family is just, my family is like such a big part of everything I do. So like even my husband, he's really good with taking care of kids. He works with kids, and so he's just naturally very good at it. More than me, I like to joke around and say he's just really good at it. And then my parents are just so helpful. His parents are so helpful. So everyone's just all hands on deck when it comes to, everyone fights over who can take care of him. So I'm like, everyone take care of it. It's great. Let's all do it together. So,
the best gift you can give a mom is time.
Exactly.
Time to rest.
I was saying that. I feel like time, once you have your first child or time runs on a different continuum.
Yes.
Like it's just faster, and I'm like,
Couldn't there be more hours?
Yeah, like it's wild actually. It's so crazy.
So as a segue, just taking on from your thoughts on motherhood, how has this changed the way you think? How has this changed the way you write songs?
Yeah.
And the way you operate today?
It's so different. I feel like this is a deep topic. I'm gonna get myself a little comfortable here.
Yes,
but
please.
I'm very passionate about this because I feel like it completely changed everything for me, and I was always afraid of being a mother, so I feel like now being a mom and like seeing the world through her eyes and just seeing faith through her eyes, like I think it's just a unique experience, like motherhood and parenting and having a child. And anyway, whether it's like you've adopted a child or it's your own child, just having children in general just changes the way you view the world. And so I think like seeing the world through her eyes has healed my heart in so many ways. Motherhood is obviously a very challenging journey, but it's also so life-giving at the same time. Even just being pregnant and having a child, the whole concept of laboring and like, that itself was so mind-blowing and life-changing. And so now like having had my daughter for 2 years and just seeing everything through her eyes and like getting to like redeem parts of my own heart that I think was broken or wounds that I had, and just by being her mom and like giving her the opportunities to like experience the world, and it's just healing for me. So it's been a healing journey for sure. There are days where you wake up and you're just like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. And I don't know if I have the strength to do it today, but it's amazing how in those moments God like brings up and highlights his faithfulness, and you just kind of have daily grace to get through each thing. And
Absolutely.
so it's changed the way that I write. It's changed the way that I've lived my life. It's changed the way that I show grace to people. I find myself being a lot more honest. I find myself being a lot more, showing more grace and showing less judgment. Forgiving. Yeah, forgiving. I find myself to be a lot more forgiving and loving, like compassionate and kind, so that's kind of been my whole journey that I'm on now, and just rediscovering faith through the lens of my daughter and what that looks like for me, what faith has now become for me. So it's been a really beautiful journey.
Yes, so that also talks a lot about your spiritual journey, right? So you're learning a lot, you're reinventing yourself in so many ways.
So many ways.
And let's talk about the year 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been like a lot of things for you, right, personally. So tell us about 2019.
Yeah, so 2019 was the year that I had decided to like pursue music full time in November. But previous to that, I just graduated with my master's in 2018, and I spent like, I told myself I had graduated a semester early, so I told myself I was going to spend the first half of 2019 just like relaxing, because I was just so stressed from my whole master's degree. And I was invited, like it was like a God thing. Like I'd been putting out music online, like through social media and stuff, and some big songwriters in the Christian music industry had found my music, and he later would go on to be the founder of the group I was a part of. It was called Maverick City Music. And he reached out to me and was just like, hey, you know, I have noticed you've been doing these songs, and I wonder if you songwrite. I would love to come and have you write with us. And we're just a group of people who love to write, and it's nothing official or anything. And just wanted to invite you to come to Atlanta and come write. And I was living in St. Louis at the time, and St. Louis, Missouri. And I was like, I don't know you. This is weird. And then he asked again a few more times, and I realized we had a few mutual friends. So then I was like, okay, I'll like go try. And so I went in June and July, and I did camps, like writing camps, and then kind of felt like this was an opportunity God had put into my like lap. I didn't really ask to do any of it. And so I trusted the Lord and continued to just go to these camps. But then by November, I decided to like fast for a few weeks and really just ask God what his plan was. Because everybody at that point, my parents, my in-laws were like, so do you want to work? Like, what's going on? Like,
when are you
okay?
Home?
Yeah, like, you're just living your life now. What's happening? And so I was just like, no, I know. So I had to like, I felt their pressure. Like I felt the pressure of like, okay, I have to like kind of decide what I want to do. And even the people that I was writing with, like they were just like, okay, like we can keep giving you these opportunities, but I think you have to decide if you want to do this full time. Because if you do, like, we can invite you to more, but if you're gonna work, it also happens during the weekdays. And so I was just like, okay. So I spent like those 2 weeks in November and prayed, and I remember kind of being like, God, like nobody I know has done this, so I need to know that if I'm gonna say yes to this, that you're gonna provide opportunities for me to do this, because how would anybody know me? Like we don't just pick a provider, like a healthcare provider. We it's like word of mouth. You look them up. There's like reviews, like, you know. And I was like, nobody knows me. So how would they choose me to come and write music with them? And so I was just telling God that, and I was like, I just need to know that you're going to do it for me. And I didn't hear anything, and I decided on like the last day, I was like, okay, if I don't hear from the Lord by tomorrow, I'm going to start looking for jobs. So I literally, the next day, wake up, and I'm about to get on my laptop to start looking for that day, and I get a call. And it was a church, and they were just like, hi, like, we got your number from someone, and we want to invite you to come and write for our church's album. And I was just like, okay, that's got to be the Lord, because I don't know who these people are. So it was just, it was definitely a God thing at that point. And I was like, okay. So I just felt like immediately knew that God was going to provide for me, and that he was going to bring about the people to help me. And literally later that month, I get my first publishing deal, and it was amazing. I mean, like since then, I had built so many connections to like songwriters, to artists, to worship leaders, to producers, and like now it's like I look back and I was like, thank God that I trusted him with it, and I made the decision to do this, because I could not have been happier with that choice. And I've always loved music, and so getting to do it this way to glorify the Lord is really, really awesome. So
that's such a powerful story, right? What you just said. And for someone who's just been singing, or imagining greater things for your personal life, I think this must have been a dream come true of sorts. What would a 5-year-old MJ tell to a 30-year-old today?
Oh man, I don't even think 5-year-old MJ would have thought that we'd be here. She never did. But I think she would tell me to just continue to trust the Lord, and to be myself and be my most authentic self. Don't hide who you are and how God made you. Continue to just be unapologetically you, and let those be the doors. Let that lead. Let you like lead with that. Lead with not what the world wants you to be, not what the industries might want you to be, but be who God wants you to be and who he's already created you to be. So I think that's what she would say. Just I look back on like me as a child and the way that my parents described me and the way that like videos I've seen of myself, and I look back and I'm like, I really valued a lot of her just boldness to be herself, and I really want to continue to be like that. So
yes,
yeah.
And this is a lot of magic, really. Like you know, looking at yourself, you know, through the lens of so many people, you've had to answer so many people, I'm sure, you know, and to yourself. And it's really important to be a strong person, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And the journey of being a mental health professional and all that, I think it's really supported you and helped you, you know, carry on.
Yeah, it doesn't always like, you know, no one ever prepares you for these type of moments in your life. You know, as much as I've like gone to school for mental health, and but no one really, like, you can have all the education in the world, but no one will prepare you for what comes with that kind of calling or that kind of assignment, or you know, that kind of platform. And so it's been it's been a journey. Like I don't like to say that I was born to do this. Like I think I'm growing into the shoes, and I'm growing into the outfit. I'm growing into it day by day, and trusting that God is going to lead me there. And I don't think I'm perfect, and I feel like there are days where my friends will even tell me, like, you know, I think you could have done that better. And I think having that support system to ground me and to teach me many things is so helpful. My parents do the same thing. And so having them and you know, the journey of mental health, knowing that I'm not alone, despite the fact that they can't necessarily relate to my experiences, but just knowing that they're there to support me no matter what has just been what I hold on to, you know, that, and then their trust in God for my life is just really unbelievable. Sometimes I'll just go, I'm like, Mom, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And they're like, Maryanne, we have not been given this. You have been giving this, so he's going to equip you to do it. So just seeing the way that they entrust God with my life is something that I hold on to. I'm like, if they're my parents and they're trusting the Lord with me, I've got to trust the Lord with me too. So.
And it's so beautiful that they're living this dream along with you.
Right, exactly. It is a dream for them. Like, my dad will have conversations with me sometimes. He's just like, I would have never thought. And I'm like, yeah, I know. You and I both would have never thought. And he'll joke around how people come up to him and they're just like talking about me. Are you Maryanne's dad? And then he'll just like laugh and he's like, people don't know I have a name. Just like, and I'm like, yeah, you're my dad. Just accept the title. You know, just kidding.
Yes. But I really want to ask you about your song, Not Just Stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Because this kind of is not just any story. It's not normal.
It's not.
And you've just made this mark for yourself. It's purely by the grace of God.
Correct.
Yeah. And you've talked about favor, you've talked about trust, and the entire journey itself, navigating an unknown field. Right.
Yeah.
How has that been? What are you learning through these? Let me ask you, top 2 things that you've learned in this journey?
Yeah. I would say the first thing I would say is God is much better than I think I ever thought he was. I think that has been the number 1 thing. And then the number 2 thing is that he's trustworthy to provide for you when you need provision. So even from that first story I told you, he provided. And every step of the way, he has always provided. So more recently, I decided to like take a step away from my group and work on my solo music. And that was a really difficult decision for me because I you know, I'd been doing something I was comfortable with for a while. And, you know, anytime you get a little too comfortable, you can assure, just wait, God's going to move you. And anytime I get comfortable, I'm always just like, okay, what's the next move? Like, and so I knew that God had been calling me to go and do my own stuff for a while, like my own solo music. And I released 1 album in 2021 called Not Just Stories, which we'll talk about. And but I knew that he was calling me to kind of go to another level with my music. And it was really scary to make that choice because it was a lot of unknown about who I'd work with and, you know, financially, what that's going to look like for my family, you know. And so, but even just this last year, the people he brought into my life, literally without even me trying, because there have been times where I knew that I was lacking in something and I would try to do something and it would always fall short, or, you know, I'd you know, I'd hire somebody and I'd have to let them go, or it just things wouldn't work out, and or I'd make a decision to sign something and it just didn't work in my favor. And these are things I would like actively seek out, right? So, but then God literally dropped people into my lap to the point where it was just like very coincidence. Like I'd think about how we met, and it's just like, wow, like God really orchestrated everything up until this point for this person to be in my life. And so he provides for you, like in the ways that you will know it's like so him. So, and it's like different for each person. The way that God provides for you, the way that he reveals himself to you is so different from the way that he'd reveal himself to me. And I've noticed the way that he reveals himself to me, he like confirms it, because I'm a person that's like needs like multiple confirmations. He'll like put it in my lap in a way that I myself am just like, I'm looking at like, how did this happen?
You have no other option but to pick it
like the producer I'm working with now, it was like, I met him like in 2020, and I remember thinking to myself, I would love to work with him again. Never met him again. Get randomly invited to one of those like BetterHelp kind of seminars or whatever, run by his father-in-law. Who totally unrelated. I'm coming to do this thing to like help myself, to help me go to the next level. Literally for me to start doing my album. Like I'm thinking, and then come to find out that this man's son-in-law, sorry, not brother-in-law, son-in-law. This man's son-in-law is that producer, and I was just like, I've been trying to like contact. I've been trying to like find this kind of, things like like things like that, where it's like now God provided that like straight shoot, like straight shot avenue to meet this person and talk to him, like, you know, things like that. Where
it's like the ram in the bush.
Exactly. Funny story. My daughter's name is Mariah because of that story, and so it's just that has been a constant theme where it's like he's much better than I thought he was. He's so much good, like so good, and he shows more grace than we think. And then also the fact that he just provides the right time.
Absolutely.
He does. It's like a ram in the thicket, always been showing up for me.
It's always, every day is a testimony, just listening to you. I really want to ask about a point in time when you thought you've had it all, but you really had to break it down and reinvent yourself. Not from 2019, but maybe even younger.
No, I mean, I'm going to just say the one that's more on my mind recently, because, you know, I had my child in 2021, and then we went on these tours, and that was like the peak of like my life. I was just like, wow, like I'm doing these tours, like 30,000 people in these rooms, and like getting to sing in front of them, and then winning Grammys, like all of that.
I'm going to come to that.
But just getting to that point in my life, and then really feeling like, okay, like I feel like I've done things that I would have never imagined, and seen things, and I'm just like, there's got to be more, like to what God's calling me to do, to what life with him looks like. And I'm like, I got very quickly unimpressed with the whole thing, and just wanting to find like more of Jesus in my day-to-day life, and that doesn't mean I don't want to do music professionally. I'll always appreciate like doing music. I love performing. I love doing, like, even when we're not doing worship, like I love singing. I love performing for people, and so I'll always love doing that. But I just like wanted a more tangible way to get to know the Lord on a personal level, like, you know. And so I think like that was a big decision for me to just, I saw it all, I had it all, but I was just kind of like, okay, you know, the world can only offer you so much, and you can only get so much from the world, and accolades and stages, platforms, whatever, like money, like you can get all those things, but it's like at the end of the day, when you accomplish everything that you've set out to accomplish, things I didn't even, you say like me being 5 years old, thinking like this was not even a dream I thought. So it's like I didn't even have the language to express the fact that, especially being a brown woman. How do you even put it into words? Right, especially being a brown woman. Now I've done it. And I'm just like, I've realized quickly that the world is your oyster. You can really do whatever it is that you feel like you're supposed to do or called to do. But I'm like, you can do all these things, but at the end of the day, like, what is the thing that's going to keep you going? Like, when you've accomplished everything that you thought you're going to accomplish, what is life really about, right? Like, what does life with Jesus look like, you know? And that's where I'm like, there was an experience we had with Mav, where we went, it was right before we did our Kingdom tour in May of 2022. And I think it was May. Actually, it might have been earlier. Never mind. We went to a correctional facility for a men's correctional facility, and I remember going, and I was postpartum, so this is also where a lot has happened, right? So I'm postpartum. I'm going into this facility, and I was struggling with how do I like lead worship now, because I'm like so mentally like not who I was, and I'm trying to adjust to this new identity of mine, but trying to like not hate the Lord for like dropping a child in the middle of all this, and then me having to navigate like, okay, like I started off like not having a child and people knew me that way, but now I'm such a different person. How do I stay relevant? How do I stay like me? And like just those questions of just, so I'm coming into this correctional facility, all of that, and we're supposed to spend like the next 5 days with these inmates, writing songs with them.
5 days.
5 days.
Okay.
Or 4 days, one of those. But it was a number of days. Writing songs with them, like building a relationship with them. I'm like walking into this like, okay. But I go there and we start like leading worship there. We recorded a few songs. And just watching these men who are in prison, most of them like for life or have very long sentences. These are like rapists, like murderers, child sex offenders, pornography charges, child pornography charges. Like we go in there, and the way that they like worshipped was like they were free.
Yeah.
And I think watching that, I quickly realized like I'm not free watching them. Because I was like, this type of like assurance of who they were. They have numbers on their shirts. They're known and identified by numbers, right? But like in the eyes of the Lord, they have a completely different identity. And I'm like looking at that, I'm just like, wow, like I'm not free, and I want to be. I want to experience them, because these men are confined to 4 walls, but they are actually the most free people I've actually seen. And I'm walking around free. So I'm walking around free, and I'm looking at them, and I'm very convicted. And I think that set a journey where I was just like, what is life really about? Like, if these men are in these 4 walls all their life, but they experience and they worship as if they are free. And I'm out in the world and I worship as if I'm not. Something is wrong. And so I was very quickly unimpressed with everything. And I had this like deep longing and desire to figure out, like, okay, God, are you really as good as you say you are? Because these are people I would have labeled as unforgivable, unredeemable. And you have done something with them, because they are so free and they're very convinced about who they are. And they don't even, like, when they tell me the things they're doing, with all my doubt and my anxiety and like distrust of men, I'm looking at them and I cannot believe that this same person has committed this crime. It's that like hard to believe, the stark contrast of who they were and who they are. So I'm like amazed, and I was quickly like, I was uncomfortable. I was very challenged, like uncomfortably challenged. And I'm like, something's wrong, like something is wrong, like with me. Something's wrong with my faith, and I had to like really examine it. And I was like that set off this journey of like, I was like, I'm like super convinced that I've gotten it somewhat wrong. And so I think having experienced all of that, getting to that experience of like meeting these men in this prison changed my life in a way that I was like, okay, I need to figure out what life's about. And I've been on that journey. I think having my child was a big part of it, watching her and experiencing the world in her eyes, introducing her to Jesus, and just teaching her things about the Lord has really changed the way that I view my faith. And so I know that's a very long answer, but that's kind of where I'm at with that and my journey with faith.
But that's a very humbling answer. And there's so much to this, right? So much learning. I really want to keep this interview very interactive and lively. But there's a lot of heart to the things that you're saying right now. Who is Jesus to MJ?
Yeah, such a great question. And I love this about the Lord, that he's so many different things. And that each season of my life, I've noticed he's a different thing to me. But right now, in this season, I've learned to like embrace him as a friend. And just what friendship with Jesus looks like, right? And it's been easy to think of that. I have like such close friends, best friends of mine, and I think about them and I'm like, I want to talk to them every day, and like building relationship with them, and like you know, I know what they would like. I know what they dislike. I know where they'd like to hang out. I know what they like to eat. Things like that, where I'm like, I look at my relationship with the Lord in that simple way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't try to
Hang out with
overcomplicate.
Jesus.
Hang out, just like, what would you, like, when you get to know him in that way, like, right? You get to know the likes. You get to know the dislikes. You know what his heart longs for. You know what breaks his heart. So I think, like, I've been like talking to him throughout the day, even in that way, like just inviting him into my day, inviting him into, like, sometimes I'll just complain and it's sad, but I'm real. I invite the Lord in those moments where I'll just like complain, or I'll be upset, or I'll like thank him for something randomly. And it's like, it's not this formal 30, 45-minute prayer. Sometimes, you know, having a toddler, you don't have this luxury all the time of, I want to and I try to, but I don't always have the luxury of like just, you know, having that dedicated time every day. And I try to, but on the days that I don't, I show myself a lot of grace, and I just like invite the Lord in my day as much as I can. And I've found that like talking to him like he's my friend has just like deepened the way that I understand him and know him and his character, and just like, I feel like I get to know, you know, there's a verse in Isaiah where it says, like, I don't know the exact, this is the MJ version, okay? MJ translation. But it's like, your ear will go to the left and the right, but then there'll be a voice that'll say, like, this is the way, walk in it. It's like, you know, that, I think that like sharpens, like with that relationship with the Lord, I get to know and trust that the things that he's teaching me, the things that he's saying to me, like, I'm making decisions out of that place. And so it's just like, I don't know, it's been really sweet to know him in that way, and it feels a lot more casual, and, and I think not in a way that diminishes his reverence, right? But like, I grew up in a very like more reverent, like, like more legalistic, like, rules kind of approach to faith, and having seen those convicts and the way that they've done the worst, and like God completely, like, it just made me want to know the Lord in that way, the way that they talked to him, the way that they got to know him, just the friendship, building that friendship with Jesus. I've known him to be a friend.